Hi, I'm FFS Light and welcome to Quake Tips. In this episode we'll look at Team Deathmatch, basic strategy and setting a mindset for improvement. But first, let's pick a champion.
Like lambs to the slaughter.
Picking a champion is easy if you're on the free tier, because you only have access to Ranger. Ranger is perfectly competent and there are no real disadvantages to him. With his active ability, the Dire Orb, he can teleport around the map and you can even frag other players by teleporting into them. He's a good pick when it comes to rocket jumping. His passive ability reduces any self-damage he may take. This is useful to traverse maps even faster. You can get other champions through loot boxes if you're lucky when you level up, but you can also buy the champions pack and get access to all current and future champions. As a new player, I would probably go with Nyx, Doom or Galena. Nyx have the active ability Ghost Walk, which grants invisibility and immortality for a few seconds. This is perfect for surprise attacks, but is also a guaranteed escape route from fights you're about to lose. At the same time, Nyx have a small hitbox, making her harder to hit from a distance. Doom have a lot of health and armor and a passive ability that allows him to do an extra jump in air, making him harder to hit with the rocket launcher. His active ability lets you move faster and punch other players at decent range with good damage. Galena is a tad slower and have a bit less health, but her totems have a low cooldown, deal high damage when enemies steps on them, and at the same time, walking over friendly totems heals you. Other players can also destroy your totems by shooting them. Placed in concealed places like teleporter exits works well. I highly encourage you to try out all the characters. If you're just starting out, I would advise you to mostly avoid Slash and Clutch. Slash is good once you learn how to crouch slide, but if you're new, that is probably going to take you a long time to master. Clutch can move at high speeds with his dash jumping, but this is hard to master as well, and without mastering that part, he's basically a big moving target and you struggle to deal any real damage. The best mode to start out with for inexperienced players is Team Deathmatch. You will be more likely to win games here because of the team setting and matchmaking. Team Deathmatch helps you develop dynamics in your playstyle between cautious and aggressive, and at the same time it allows you to experiment with different characters and weapons while retaining a good chance to win the game. Your initial focus should be to survive as best you can rather than attacking mindlessly. You do this by hiding and basically disengaging most fights where you feel resistance. One of the most common mistakes is focusing too much on getting kills. Instead of attacking, you should seek out items like weapons and armor. You should only engage when you hold quad damage or if you have a lot of health and armor. Other than that, you should stay at safe distance and assist your teammates best you can. Railgun and rocket launcher are great at a distance. A direct rocket or one shot of rail can diminish most or all the armor the enemy may have taken. Even though TDM is won by the team with most frags, applying constant pressure on your enemies is vital. You may not have the perfect aim or have most kills on your team, but constantly taking away bits and pieces of the enemy's health and armor will give your more experienced teammates the upper hand at taking them down. By focusing on staying alive for longer periods of time, you deny the enemy team frags and make it harder for them to win the game as well. Staying alive also gives you a better overview of what is going on. Once you get a better feel for the game, you start noticing what players have taken a lot of damage recently and who to avoid. This overview is often lost if you're constantly respawning. That said, it's normal to have periods of time where you cannot do much to avoid getting fragged multiple times. Take a deep breath and know that this happens to everyone. After you respawn, you should focus on getting a weapon, preferably the rocket launcher, arguably the strongest weapon in the game. Doing infights with rocket launcher, you should aim for the enemy's legs. Hitting the legs or close to will increase the damage you do and sometimes pop them in the air. Try to escape, especially in situations facing more than one enemy at a time. Finally, Quad damage is an important item for Team Deathmatch. We'll go deeper into this later, but for now, try to be around quad damage when it spawns every 2 minutes. Quad damage is often the deciding factor in Team Deathmatch. Your main priority should not be to win the game. Instead, you should try to enter each game with a preset goal in mind. This can be whatever you feel you need to improve. For example, you could be focused on getting fragged as few times as possible, practicing your active ability, or you could simply focus on completing room challenges, which yields currency towards loot boxes to customize the looks of your characters and weapons. If you make up your own objectives, it doesn't matter much if you win or lose, you can still succeed. Focus on the result will only lead to frustration, so make small goals instead, goals that are reasonable and within reach. This is one of the key methods to improving for both new and old players. Until next time, check out the suggested characters and try to learn their abilities, strengths and weaknesses. Play conservatively with focus on surviving rather than getting frags. One of the most common mistakes is playing too aggressively. Practice dealing damage from distance, so shoot a lot and scavenge the map for items. Don't stand still. Practice your rocket launcher aim and during infights aim for the enemy's legs. Develop a mindset where you are focused on what you need to improve, rather than being results oriented. If you keep practicing your weaker sides, the results will come on their own. Suggestions are always welcome, feel free to comment and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. See you on the servers.